Women have for centuries been fighting for the right to control their own wealth. Little did they realize that Allah had granted this to us over 1400 years ago. Whatever a woman owns is hers when she gets married and remains hers. Her husband has no rights on it at all. Whatever comes to her during the marriage remains hers. The husband has no right on it at all, except that which she chooses to give to him. He cannot even ask for what is hers. The responsibility of maintenance is his, no matter how much money she has. She controls. She makes the decisions about what is done with her property and her income.
When a woman gets married, what is aqd al-nikah? What is the contract of marriage? Aqd. What does it mean? In Islamic terms, it means the transfer, listen carefully, the transfer of the responsibility of guardianship and care and protection from the father to the new husband of his daughter, from him to her. If the man divorces her, she returns back to the guardianship and care and protection of her father. If the father is not there, it's her brother. If the brother is not there, it's her uncle. If the uncle is not there, it is her maternal uncle. If he is not there, if she has an older son, it's her son. If they are not there, it is upon the whole community, and it is a fard ayn, a compulsory thing upon the community, Muslim community, to care for and protect and look after her. And this is not for the man. This is only for the woman.
We also have the right to choose our own husband. Many people have the misconception that the marriages are arranged by family members. Now, in some cultures, unfortunately, this is true. They bypass Islamic law and follow something that comes from way beyond imagination. In Islam, the male and the female child must both be consulted before they are married. The involvement on the part of the parent is supposed to be in making sure that this female or male child, that these are the two people who belong together, that they are going to bring each other happiness, that they are going to make a solid family which will be an asset to the society.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created emotional feelings within the woman that are a little bit more heavier than the man, especially at the times of her physiological changes, especially at the time of her pregnancy, especially at the time of her labor or breastfeeding and postnatal situations, if you know what I'm talking about. In all these circumstances, the woman's emotions and hormonal state is confusing, and she cannot be blamed for everything she says or does. For this reason, Allah put this thing called al-Rahim inside of her to give the man a little bit more pressure to monitor this trust and to forego her faults in those times.
We're deciding the future of the universe. What I teach my children determines whether they are builders or destroyers, peacemakers or warmongers. So yes, I'm deciding the future of the universe and how I teach my children and how they teach their children. That all comes from the mother. So we know the value and the importance of motherhood.
However, there's a problem. This trust that we have, our mind, our body and our soul, there is this enemy who will not leave us alone. He is called Iblis and he is called the Shaitan. And Allah tells us, beware of Iblis, him and his soldiers. Him and his soldiers. Who are the soldiers of Iblis? They are the jinns who are following him, and they are the humans who accept to follow him. You know how the humans follow him? Everything which Allah commanded us and prohibited us, the Shaitan prohibits you the opposite way and commands you the opposite way. If Allah says to you pray, the Shaitan says don't. If Allah says to you don't lie, the Shaitan says lie. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to you wear your hijab, the Shaitan says you're too beautiful, why cover it up? Let the people see. You're too precious. He starts giving these justifications. If the man refuses to allow his wife to be valued in the home by having some decision roles, the Shaitan tells him, go on, you're the man.
The Quran says that we should cover ourselves and identify ourselves as being Muslim. my hijab does that. When I walk down the street, I am identified as being a Muslim. The second part says that we would not be molested. Now, molesting does not just mean rape, and we've simplified things a little bit too much when we start talking about Islam. First thing you have to know is that rape has nothing to do with sex, physical desire, love, any of that. Rape is an act of violence and hate, and it does not depend on the way a woman is dressed. A woman does not ask to be raped by wearing less clothing. That is not why a man rapes. A man does not rape because he is sexually excited by the physical appearance of a woman. This is an act of hate for women. It is an act of violence against women. And they even rape 70 and 80-year-old women with no figure. Okay, this dress prevents us from being molested because this dress reminds us constantly of who we are. When I pass a store window and I see myself, I'm reminded that I am a Muslim.